We're live.
Hi,
Hi, Sally.
how's it going?
Hi, yeah, it's hump day.
It's raining here.
Raining.
It's start of spring.
Oh,
Yay! Gloomy as hell, but it's start of spring.
we got
I
a
just
big
working.
wind outside this morning. Man, it's screaming. Yesterday was 96 degrees, and today is only supposed to be like 75. So,
Wow.
hi, Tommy. Hi, Lag. Hi, Diane. Hi, Bump Crack.
Hi guys. Can you fix your screens,
Fix my screens. I
please?
don't want to go outside to
I
fix the
don't like it
screens.
only showing this much of me.
You're too picky, Sally.
I know.
You're being a diva this morning.
A
Big old diva.
diva.
Yeah. So, all right.
So you get Gwen to the station, okay?
Uh, they don't
The
call them
airplane
stations. I think
station.
they call them airports. But yeah.
That's what you call that. The airport, not the airplane station.
Yeah, I mean,
Hi, Tommy.
it's a pain that we're leaving at different times. But yeah. I got
Yeah.
her. It's a two
Why
and a
did
half hour. No, it's about a
why did you
2 hour
decide to
drive.
wait?
Huh?
Why did you decide to wait until Thursday to go?
Well, because this is her business trip as well. So she's going up 2 days early to do her business stuff, and then I get to come down and be the arm candy for the last day or two.
Are you gonna fly?
Yeah, I'm not driving to friggin' Florida from Texas.
Okay.
Holy crap. That would take like 2 days to drive
Would
from
it
here to
really?
Orlando.
I didn't think it was that far.
Yeah, it's pretty much hell and gone from here.
Oh,
It would be like I don't know, probably 17-hour drive.
just tell me I took measurements of this. I
Jim
can't
could probably do that in his sleep, but I can't. I'm too
probably
old
without peeing.
without peeing.
Peeing in a bottle all the way along.
Yeah,
Right, Tara? Go on, Tara.
you just take along a urinal, one of those hospital urinals. Just take that along. Oh my God.
Did you buy some inventory yesterday?
Uh, no.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Wow, I'm so proud of you.
Well, I
I
didn't
did.
get back in time from the airport to go to the rummage
I
sale.
did. I bought some inventory yesterday. I spent $140 at the thrift store yesterday. But
But
I learned I learned a thing about my thrift store that on Fridays and Saturdays, because I never go to that one on Fridays and Saturdays, so I didn't know this. But last week I went on Friday or Saturday, I can't remember, and 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 they're like, "Did you want to do the 5 for 5?" And I'm like, "What's the 5 for 5?" and and she's like telling me about it, and it's basically they have the tags that are half off, the different colored tags, and then so if you got 5 of those, and they can't be like swimsuits or anything like that, underwear, whatever, they have to be clothing, clothing items. Um, and they can't be new with tags, so they have to be pre-owned. And and usually that's the best stuff, is the pre-owned stuff without tags. That I mean, sometimes I find really good stuff with tags, but um yeah, the pre-owned stuff is usually the higher marked up stuff that's good brands or whatever. So
Huh.
five for $5. $5 for $5. Do you know how much I could kill this?
That
I
sounds good.
I'm gonna kill it.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, Nissa.
Hi guys, hi Nishana.
Sally's are lovely. I'm an old, crotchety, ugly ass bastard.
Well, I've been up for a while. I've only been up since like 3:30, but still, I've been working and I've gotten lots of stuff done so far. So it seems like I'm most productive on the day that I have to go back to work. Why is that? Because I'm a procrastinator?
Probably because
Is that why?
after a little rest, you just feel better the
Yeah,
last day before you go back.
that could be it. Yeah.
Yeah, after I got through driving 4.5 hours yesterday in Dallas Fort Worth traffic, I was kind of tired when I got home. Like, all I did was sit in a car and drive it.
Yeah. Well,
But
that
I mean,
your blood's not moving, you're
uh, we hit
you're
the
staying
rush
away
hour
from it.
traffic yesterday going into Fort Worth, and I'm like, oh my God. It took us like
Like that, huh?
it took us like 30 minutes in one spot. It took us like 30 minutes to go 10 miles.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty
oh,
bad.
stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. Look at the ugly people in the car next to you for a couple of minutes. Stop, go, stop, go. Some of them weren't ugly.
Yeah.
And then there's always somebody in a hurry to get to work and cut you off,
Oh,
and you're
I'm
like,
sure.
frickin' rack snacking crap.
I'm
You
sure.
almost wrecked me, you little turd,
Yeah. Yeah.
in a big truck with knobby tires. It was because
So,
a lot of people can't afford to live in the center part of Dallas and Fort Worth, so they drive in from
yeah.
outside and they just go, just nuts.
Yeah. I don't like that kind of traffic.
Yeah, I'm sure
And
some people have like a hour commute and they only go 20 miles.
I don't I used to be okay, even driving LA traffic, 5 lanes one way. I mean, it was very scary. People did it and I was fine. I didn't have the anxiety that I have now.
Yeah,
Um, but I just, try to do what I can and be calm. Yesterday, I went to Walmart and decided to get some groceries, and after I looked at the clearance, obviously, and I found 2 clearance tops. But anyways, I was going for groceries. I was there for like 20 minutes, and this kid started just screaming at the top of his lungs, and and then when he would talk, it was just so shrill to me. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't even know how I'm gonna have grandkids because I don't have the patience for kids anymore." I just feel like I'm gonna rip my hair out. And so I'm like, "What the
yeah.
hell am I doing?" I turned my Pandora on in my hearing aids, and if somebody would have been talking to me, I wouldn't have been able to hear them. That's how. how blasting it was. But nobody can hear my music, unless they probably got right up next to my head. So I was just jamming out in the store, not not worrying about a dang thing. Yeah, let that kid cry. I don't freaking care. That's how you do it. You get you some earbuds or hearing aids that have Bluetooth. That's what I'm doing from now on. I'm gonna be like those kids that have what is it called? They're like autistic. I'm gonna be like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like that. Anytime there's a stressful situation, I'm just gonna turn my Pandora on. Be like,
There's the
oh,
link
okay, I
if
can
anybody
hear you.
else wants to come in. We're just jacking our jaws with no topic. We kind of have a topic. No, we don't have a topic.
Yeah, that's one thing I miss about having a big truck, Scott, is because like I felt so safe, and I felt like nobody's gonna try and like hit me, or try and cut me off or anything like that in a big truck. You feel safer. I'm driving this Jeep, and it's just basically a little piece of plastic compared to those big trucks.
Yeah. If somebody hit my truck, they would tear their little car apart.
That's how my truck was too. It was built tough, and it wasn't a Ford, but it was a tough truck.
Especially on the front and back. I got those monster grill guard on my front.
Uh,
One of those heavy duty aftermarket steel bumpers on the back.
yeah,
You hit my truck, your
you're
your
gonna be
car's
hurt.
gonna be way more hurt than mine. Unless you T-bone me from the side, then it's just like a normal truck.
Right.
Yeah, mine gets 12 miles per gallon too. I get Ford at 250.
Man.
It's hurtful to pay over $100 for a tank of gas.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, my Jeep's not that much better. I mean, it would probably take at least 75.
I drive the old beater Dodge sedan most of the time because it gets like 24 miles to the gallon. That pickup, I drive it so little, the gasoline that's in it cost like $2.80.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been since I've put gas in the pickup.
Morning, Hank. Yeah, I haven't put gas in like 2 weeks. I'm
Yeah,
I'm at I'm at 3/4 of tank, so I mean I don't like really need it right now, but I'm just trying to wait until it gets to a good level
yeah,
for
lag. Your
us,
truck is
and
like mine.
I'll fill it back up.
I got the F250 with a 6.3 liter engine. Hey, the star showed up.
Hey, how's it going?
You know what really hurts? That damn truck of mine's got a 36-gallon tank. I let it run out the other day, so
Oh, he
Uh-oh.
he froze.
2 days later I did it again, and it's still not full.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man,
But yeah,
you're, you're zapping out, Scott. You're going on and off and on and off.
What is going on?
He's frozen right now.
There you are.
At least it's a pleasant expression he's got on his. There he is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not scared to put that big steel bumper on anybody because what are you going to do to it? It's got scratches on it. What do I care?
I had new flooring put in the other day, and one of the guys working the job said, "You want to sell that truck?" I said, "Probably not. I can't get another one. Price is too high for a new truck." I said, "What do you give me for it?" He said, 20,000. And I said, "Well, that's more than I paid for it 3 years ago." And I said, "Let me look up the book price right now." So I went in and looked at Auto Trader, and that truck, the lowest price one, like mine, kind of with about the same amount of miles, was $30,000. And I'm like, holy
Wow.
crap!
Really?
That's almost twice what I paid for the truck like 3 or 4 years
Ooh.
ago.
Wow.
I'm like, how in the world? And I've driven it for I've put like 60,000 miles on it and driven it for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It's just nuts.
Well, that's
But that
inflation
2012
for
pickup is worth a lot more than it was.
In and out. This is crazy. I'm gonna reboot the
Yeah,
whole system and come back.
yeah, you're in and out, in and out.
I know for sure.
Uh-oh, we have another guest from the land of far, far away in the east coastern metropolis of Bumville. We have Tom, the
Oh my
Queen
God.
City Picker, in the
I haven't seen
house.
you in forever.
Do what?
I haven't seen you in forever.
I know.
I thought you were going into the big city today.
She had to be there early this morning.
Oh, so you went and got back?
I'm already back.
Look at you.
Well, good to have you.
They're
You already
having
put in a half a day of work.
They're having a quarterly meeting here in Charlotte, and of course they can't have it out at their campus. They have to have it uptown where it's like yesterday. We just got so much rain yesterday. It was like most of our rivers. You can
Yeah.
float a boat down. And but of course they have to have everything uptown where it's a pain in the butt. So
Right.
Uptown world, 'cause I'm living in a big city
have you
world.
talked to Valerie, Sally?
Yeah.
It's like
Every day.
like this morning, last night. Did they get washed away up there?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't talked to her today yet.
Because they
I know they got some rain.
we got some rain yesterday.
We're getting it today.
Hey, Nishana.
But it feels like it's the start of spring.
It's supposed to be 81 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were 96 yesterday, and today's going to be 75. We got a big wind coming through.
Didn't Sally or Bridget have snow yesterday?
Yeah. It's funny. She was having freezing rain. Then I put a picture of my
Hey, Mike.
of my weather thing, and it said 96 on it. It was hot yesterday here.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
He's making fun of you in your eyes yesterday.
Oh.
You were having like an icy mix, and we were 96 degrees at that same time. It's so funny.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't the one that was laughing.
Dang.
I'm telling you, it's been like that. But that's just how it gets. During like the start of spring, it's like we get that freezing rain mix now, and then it will turn spring for a minute, and then it'll be summer.
Tracy. Hi. She wants a peace sign too. Here you go. Peace out, Chicky Poo. She's She's had a recent move. I can't believe, Tracy, that you would move like that. You moved your whole household and all your eBay stuff. And then she said, we're only here for a year. And I was like, why would you do that for just 1 year?
Where
Oh
the
my
hell did you move
God.
to?
There's Tommy. Hi, Tommy.
Where'd you move?
Your day is complete. She moved a little bit outside of Austin instead of being in Austin.
Oh,
Where'd you move? Not New Braunfels. Anyway, another town pretty close to close to Austin, south of Austin, I think she said.
well, that's good that it wasn't that far.
There's a lot of pretty towns down that way.
Yeah.
And then just to the west of there, up in the hill country, it's just beautiful out there. We got the blue bonnets blooming here. They already had blue bonnets down where Tracy was. Wildflowers just going nuts around here.
Yeah.
Finally got a little rain on them, so they're just popping out. Bastrop, that's right. Every time I look at the town Bastrop, I want to think bastard. Who would name their town Bastard?
Does she live in Texas too?
Yeah.
I don't know why I always think Tracy lives up in like Philadelphia or Boston or up in that area.
Oh my God. She's an old Texas gal.
She don't have the big hair though. If you're from Texas, you're supposed to have big hair.
She's got a lot of hair. It may not be big. Yeah, poofed out like Lady Bird Johnson always kept her hair all poofed out. And Bearded's back. Back in action.
Yeah, I rebooted everything, including the router. Maybe we're good.
You can tell Scott doesn't live in Texas.
No, we got all the rain before you did yesterday. It came overnight up until like 7 o'clock yesterday morning. There's a dry creek beside the house that was like 4 feet in water. We got a ton of rain before you did.
Well, we have the worst roads in the world anyway. Most of our streets had 6 inches of water in it.
Wow.
Dang. Hey, Scott, Gwen booted me out of the dining room where I did have my computer and desk, and now I'm stuck in the eBay cavern. It's like the Bat Cave.
It's so dark in there.
It is dark. I need some lighting, man. It's horrible.
You people need to get your women under control.
Look at all that death pile over there, and oh my God.
I used to struggle with lights right here, and so I went to Home Depot and got just a regular one of the ceramic fixtures and screwed it into. And have you seen the LED lights that have like 3 panels when they spread out?
Mm-hmm.
There's one above my head. It's like, I forget how. We put them in the garage, and my son walked out there and goes, "Holy shit, Dad! It's daylight in the garage." You got to warn somebody before you blind me. I mean, it's because they are. That's why my head is glow.
You got a lot of light going. A lot of light is better than this cave I'm sitting in, though.
Get you some LED lights.
Yeah.
Because I put some in our kitchen, and our kitchen is
For
probably
sure.
like your garage now. It is so bright when you turn the lights on. You better be awake when you walk in there in the morning and turn the lights on.
Every time you go to the garage and you have to turn the lights on, it's like you relive Christmas Vacation. Whatever they put the lights on, every time.
And the electric meter goes.
And you swear you hear somebody go, the music going. Ah.
I want to replace the bulbs in our cars with LED lights because it throws so much more light out there, and I'm getting old and I don't see as good as I used to. So
Yeah, that's the next project on my truck is to put LEDs in the truck.
but it's not a case where you can just pull the old bulbs out and put LED lights in bulbs, and you got to put an adapter in there and all this other kind of crap.
And you got to make sure you get the ones that got fans on them because they run a little hotter so you don't burn up wires. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a mess.
Yeah, Tracy, I imagine your place sold for a lot of money. Are you kidding? A growing town in the housing market that we got going? You could probably retire, Tracy.
Yeah, Huntsville's insane, man. They're Meridianville, this little area is so small, 8 miles above Huntsville. There's no town government or anything. They're there's neighborhoods everywhere, and they currently have 9 more on the books. They ain't even started yet.
Dang.
It is a neighborhood going up everywhere, and there's still 9 more. The price of this house is doubled. We bought it 5 years ago. It's doubled in 5 years.
Yeah, you can't get workers to work on a used house because they're busy building new homes for people.
Yeah, one of Harlan's buddies from high school, he either dropped out of high school or he dropped out of college, and he started a business where he buys the land and then he puts the curbs in and everything for these neighborhoods. Man, that dude is a multi millionaire because of he's the one putting in all these neighborhoods. They'll design them and he'll come in and lay the streets in and then sell the lots. I mean, this dude he built a barn beside his house. He lives about 4 miles away. That's bigger than this house, and build them together.
Wow.
It's a freaking barn.
Even the medium-sized towns around here just growing, just building like crazy.
I do some work for a lady. I work on her computer, and she's part of one of the really old moneyed families here in town. And her son-in-law said she was getting ready to start building her house, and he said, "Just wait." He said the shit's getting ready to fall out of this place around here, and she never cusses. And she said that's a direct quote. He said it's going to fall, and it's going to fall bad.
There are a lot of signs that show we're in 2007 right now.
Yeah,
headed towards 2008.
Yeah,
that's why Harlan sold his house and cashed out, took the money.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. We're at 8% inflation. I read an article this morning that food prices were going to go up another 5% for the rest of 2022.
And
just food prices.
Something I saw yesterday saying the 30-year mortgage is now up to 5%. From this time last year, that's an extra $800 on a like a $500,000 payment. That's an extra $800 a month for just interest rate.
God.
Yeah,
but you'll make it up in the price difference of houses too. So,
yeah. If you didn't refinance in this craziness, we refinanced down to 2% and save a lot of money.
You don't refinance when you don't know nothing.
Yeah, we cut off.
Believe me, the people that we used to have our mortgage with, that we get letters out saying y'all got a lot of equity in that house. Y'all need to get some money out of it. And I'm like, no, we don't, because if shit hits the fan, we have zero debt.
Yep.
And I'm not worrying about anything. I'm not worrying about making a house payment.
I don't believe you ever had a mortgage, Tom. You just walked in and wrote a check.
No, I wish I could, because I found the house out on the lake. I'm waiting for shit to hit the fan. I might buy it.
Yeah, this one we cut off. We'd paid 3 years, so we cut off. We knocked it down to 15, so we paid another 2 cents in. So we're down to 13 years left. So
I'm
like, do you want any money out of it? No, I don't want any money out of it. I want the years off the mortgage.
You preach it, Scott. You preach it.
Yeah, I don't always make your forever home. You need to get that sucker paid off fast.
Yeah, I don't always make great decisions, but that was one of the better ones. I saw a lot of people going, I'm paying off credit card debt. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm like, you're just rolling debt into your house. What the hell?
And that $2,000 or $3,000 worth of closing fees that you don't pay. You don't pay it because it's rolled into the mortgage. I tell my boys, I said, you know what? You buy your little house. When you get it paid off, then you move up. but you'll always have some place to live. Because there was a lot of people that back in 2008, they had no place to live. And I'm just not, I'm not going to worry about, I'm too old,
Yeah, my mother.
I'm getting up there with Sally. I just think I'm not worrying about where I'm going to live at my old age.
Yeah, my mother's the same as you are, Tom. She's at the beach in Wilmington, and they keep telling her, the houses in the neighborhood are selling for this, and she's like, "I'm gonna sell it." I'm like, "Then what the hell are you gonna do? Live in an apartment? You got to pay somebody. You got no bills. You hadn't had a mortgage payment in 20 years. Do you really want to start paying?" I said, go look at the apartment rent around all them new apartments they're building. $2,500 a month rent. Are you crazy? So yeah, she's like, "Yeah, y'all, I'm gonna die in this house." And she changed her mind.
This house that we have right now, Scott, in Mecklenburg County, they've done away with single family zoning. Unless your house has a homeowners association or you're deed restricted to not subdividing your property or having multifamily on it, it's fine. I mean, you can do whatever you want. So I told her, I said, as soon as a 2x4 that gets back down to where it's supposed to be and not $10 a piece, I said, we're going to tear this place down and build us about a triplex here. And what they want to do is they want to diversify the housing, so more low income, affordable housing. That's the phrase they use, affordable housing.
Well, a lot of it around here is the younger generation doesn't care anything about a big house, and they don't care anything about stuff, and so they built so many apartments. I mean, there are apartments going up everywhere in Huntsville. I mean, everywhere.
And another thing, people, get your penny saved up, because I bet you within a year we've got 2,000 new storage units coming online in Charlotte. We've already got like 4,000. There's going to be a lot of crap being sold at auction. So get ready. But yeah, I told my sons, they've talked about getting an apartment together, and I'm like, or the two that still live at home, and I'm like, no, if y'all want a place on your own, then we'll find a piece of dirt someplace and put y'all a couple of tiny homes out there, because that's all you need. You're young, you don't need a formal dining room and a formal living room. You need a bar that you can set your computers up on and you can eat at when you choose to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Harlan rented. He's in an apartment right now, but he rented a house. And I was on the phone with him last night. I'm like, he's like, I'm designing how I'm gonna set this house up. I'm like, he's like, it's got a freaking dining room. What the hell is a dining room worth? And we were talking about. He's like, I'm gonna put my computer and tables in. I'm gonna list eBay in this so-called dining room.
There you go. That's what I was doing with our house, but I got kicked out. We got new flooring. Gwen said, it's time for you to move. You got to move the desk anyway.
Oh, just move it within the house. She wasn't telling you it's time for you to move down the street a ways.
Yeah, well, a little bit exaggerating.
It's almost like being in a different neighborhood, though. This is just a dark junk pile cave.
That's why you build
like the wrong side of town.
I need to get a Batmobile to put in here with me. It looks like the Bat Cave.
You build your own building, and then nobody can kick you out of your own building out here. So
that's what I was about to say. Joni said you need to build you something out back to get your crap out of my house.
Yeah, now she don't bother me. I just go outside.
Just go outside.
But you could always. The good thing is you could always move that sucker into all your stuff into the garage, and wait a minute, let me finish and finish off that garage and rent your son in a place to have your son.
That's where he's at.
Huh?
That's where he's at.
He's in
the outbuilding. He's not in the
den, aren't you?
The other garage is full. They're both full.
I mean, it's just you and Joni and the kid part time. How much stuff can you have?
How the hell part time? He's in there asleep. He ain't no part time.
Well, he finished school, didn't he?
Yeah, but that don't mean his shy self has done anything with it.
Oh yeah,
And mama's little baby, he gets no pressure to do shit.
I've got one like that too. I'm getting ready to start doing some prearranged weddings or marriages.
I told him I was going to pick him up a girlfriend at the flea market if he didn't come on. At a yard sale, flea market, something.
You know, because being that it's her only son, there's not ever going to be a girl good enough for him in Mama's eyes.
Well, he is painfully shy, worse than I ever was. I grew up that way.
I can't believe you were ever shy, Todd. Todd Scott.
Yeah, it was awful, and he is me 10 times over. So, yeah.
You've added some more shelves since the last time I saw your show or saw you online. Let's see, to your left.
They're the same one.
Yikes.
These are all the same one. This is when I first set this building up. This was I don't know. Not many people ever got the story. So I'm building this building, and Dusty's just ranting on. You've got to have a plan. You got to draw it out, and he's over here with a damn tape measure trying to measure this whole thing out because you need to set everything. I'm like, I'm just gonna throw shelves in there, and you know these big counters and stuff. He calls me one night. He goes, "There's an auction at a dry cleaner going out. Buy those counters." So that's where these counters came from, and yeah, all these shelves are where they were whenever I was told where I should put them.
You see where Fish said that they bought a 1989 Fleetwood mobile home with 3 acres years ago, 18 years ago, and for $15,000. Now it's assessed at $180,000. People got to have a place to live.
I mean, it was hard to argue with somebody who had a room that was about this big and had thousands and thousands of lots. It was hard to argue with Dusty when he was telling me all this stuff to do.
Have you talked to the kids? Their kids? Are they doing okay?
I'm not. The son is in school now, so he's busy, and you know she's a restaurant manager, so heaven forbid, we stop by there every now and then. We haven't run into her. She's manages one and watches over another one. Same. So it's hard to catch her, and it's they don't have no help. No restaurants around here have any help. So I'm so glad I don't do that anymore. Ooh.
There's the mom and pop restaurants around here are doing good, because they don't have to go to the board to make a decision about. We realize that we've got to pay these people money to keep them coming in here to work, and they can do it. You know, the fast food places are offering $13 an hour, and people with $400 sign-on bonuses, and they're still turning them down.
Yeah, we went to McDonald's yesterday on the way to the airport and waited in line for a little bit. We said, dang, this line isn't moving. We just left. We said, you're gonna be late for your flight. We just had to pull out a line and leave. I guess you got a snack at the airport.
You almost have to eat old people rules. If you don't eat early or any kind of off time, you can't get in a line at anywhere from like 11:30 to 1 or between 5 and 7. Man, you better have a lot of gas to burn there.
This was like 8 a.m. Yeah, it was just a crush of people, and they just flat didn't have enough employees in there doing the work.
No, and you just do what you got to do, you know. Just try and, you know, as a manager, you just try and you know, delegate areas to certain people, and you just do what you got to do and try and cover it. But it might take a while. It might take longer than
I have noticed that as I'm sourcing, the smaller towns seem to have a little better handle on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go up to Fayetteville yesterday, at Fayetteville, Tennessee, and everything looked normal. But you come down here and no, there's no help at all in Huntsville. But the smaller towns I go through, it doesn't seem to affect them nearly as bad.
Yeah. Our McDonald's, they couldn't even open their lobby until 2 months ago because of lack of help.
Back when the Bojangles first opened up their drive-through, after they opened up the store back up, period. I asked the manager, he was running the window, and I said, when are y'all going to open up the dining room? He said, I hope never. He said, I can run my business. I'm making more money with the drive-through than I am having to deal with people at the front counter, having to have the extra employees.
Having to clean up after people.
Yeah, he's like, I just soon just have drive-through, but they've got the dining room back open.
I don't doubt, that's a thing, because that does take a lot of extra labor.
Well, Taco Bell, I saw on Facebook where Taco Bell is developing a restaurant that's the kitchen is up top, and then you've got like three rooms that come down to the ground like a drive-through at a bank. And that's where when you place your order, they cook it, they put it together up top and send it down dump waiter, so they can have like 3 drive-throughs at a time.
So one of our Chick-fil-A's has one of those. The Chick-fil-A over the mountain, they put the bag on a little clip on a conveyor belt,
right.
and it goes all through the restaurant to the drive-through. And
I saw that on YouTube or Facebook or something like that.
I say, where does your order go when you put it there? And it goes up and through and over. We've got one of those here.
That's cool.
The McDonald's here are already doing with, placing your own order. They've got all the kiosks out there now, which I like, because if there's a mistake with the order, it's my fault, not theirs. So the only person I can be mad at is my fault, me, not them. But it's bad around here. I mean, there's a lot of restaurants that are just barely running. They have low occupancy, not because of the fire marshal or the CDC. It's because they're trying to keep their quality up of service.
Yeah, we do.
Todd, not Todd. Scott, have you ever thought about going back into the restaurant business?
Yeah, then I wake up screaming.
Do I?
Yeah, we do Wednesday night. Tuesday night wings. And I swear to you, every Tuesday night there's different waitresses. They're not the same one. There's like 2 or 3 that are the same, but there's always new faces every Tuesday night. I'm like, how in the? I mean, it's only been a week, and you don't even see the same people again.
You know what? The restaurant that my son works at, he's got a really good boss, and the boss will he rewards his workers. He gives them like parties and stuff. He really goes all out. He really goes all out to keep his employees happy, and
that cat is worse than Phoebe.
That cat is a kitten, and he's at like that teenage stage where all he wants to do is sleep and eat. That's all he wants to do. And get shenanigans like that.
So it's
too.
Joni has sinus surgery, so me and Phoebe are in the spare bedroom, and she feeds him every morning at 7. Well, this morning Joni didn't get up, and so at 7:15, Phoebe wiggles out from the covers, and then she walks up me and lays right here. I don't think you, Phoebe. What the hell are you doing? And when you still start talking, she'll start licking your face. I'm like, Phoebe. I'm like, go pounce on your mama. I put her on the ground. She whines and pick her back up, and then she jumps back on me. I'm like, what's wrong with this plan? Then how I got done.
How is Joni getting along these days, Scott? She doing good?
Yes, she had the sinus surgery last Thursday, so this is the second one. The first one was a year ago, and when the doctor comes and says that was way worse than I ever thought it would be. And this one was more of a cleanup from now that everything's settled, so everything's fine.
That's good.
She volunteers every Thursday at the cancer center where she got cured from breast cancer. So she'll be fine to go there Thursday.
Gives you reason to send her out in the morning. Any time for you to go?
I'm going sourcing all day tomorrow, so she can do whatever she wants to. Somewhere in North Georgia. I hadn't made the map yet.
Are you doing any long journeys anymore, or you pretty much stopped that?
Ever since all that happened with her, I just don't like the long ones anymore. I'm all right to go for a day, maybe two, but I don't like the idea. Even though everything's fine, it changes when you go through stuff like that. It changes the way you think about stuff. It changes. Yeah. So, and then the stuff happening with Dusty and Tristan, and then Harlan's brother passing away. Make sure we evaluate. And I buy a lot more used. I buy a lot more local. I sell a lot more used on Amazon now than I ever did, just to keep me in the area instead. You can. I just decided all the time chasing versus the time you miss is not worth it. So
I don't know about you, but with Joni, but Roberta can start having what I consider symptoms from when she had, before she had her transplant. Like she stays cold all the time, and she's got a space heater under her desk over here, and I'm about to burn up. I've got the air conditioning turned on 60. And I'm like, we've got to talk to the doctor about this, because before she had her transplant, she froze all the time. I slept in a different room because our bedroom was like 90 degrees. It felt like it to me. So every time something like that popped up, I'm automatically on red alert about, like, we need to talk to the doctor if.
Yeah, well, that was surgery number 16 for her. So,
good God.
And yeah, so.
Did she have a growth in her sinuses?
No, just her sinuses became where they didn't drain anymore. They stayed the full, and it kept the infection up there. So they triggering migraines, and so the first time they did the Roto-Rooter, but she'd been addicted to Aspirin for 20 years, and so that made everything terrible. It made everything swollen, and so that was part of the complications and having to finish it this time. She said the doctor called me this time, because you don't see the doctor anymore. You just get a call in the waiting room, and she said this one went perfect. Everything she'll feel great in a couple of days. So
good. Well, hopefully it'll really make her feel better.
Yeah.
And hopefully they figure it out. Her doctor, she's blessed with some good doctors. She'll tell you she has 16 doctors, so she has a collection of. And they ran.
I don't want a collection of.
Her last blood work, she still sees the chemo doctor every 3 months. He said, "You realize how low your B12 is? Have you been feeling tired and sluggish?" She said, "Yeah, for about 10 years." That your B12 is so low it didn't measure. So they're gonna every week now, starting Thursday, she's gonna get shots or infusions or whatever it is. So hopefully she'll finally start feeling better. He said it'll take 4 of them to bring it up. He said, and then I'll give you a shot every month just to.
What helps too is those you can buy sublinguals like at the pharmacy, to where you just pop them under your tongue, and like if you just start feeling sluggish, you just pop one of those under your tongue and it'll B12.
Yeah. She doesn't take much over the counter. One of the lovely consequences of chemotherapy was chronic kidney disease. So, like all through this COVID, they've said take vitamin D. Everybody's deficient in vitamin D. She can't take the vitamin D because it hurts her kidney function since she's got. So she has to be real careful. So she really doesn't take any supplements unless the doctor says, "Hey, this is." Because her kidney doctor very, very aggressive. So that, Johnny's in her early 50s, she's like, you need to protect now so that you don't have to be on dialysis in your late 60s, so
Mhm.
very blessed. When you look at her list of doctors, people will go, well, that's probably the best one of that in town. That's probably the best. I mean, she's very fortunate to have a lot of.
There are so many herbals that conflicts with a lot of
Yeah.
the prescriptions. Like
Yeah.
Roberta was going to try the diet that Gwen has, and then she started looking through all the herbs and herbals on it, and it's like, no, this conflicts with this prescription because Roberta takes about 10 pills every day.
Mm.
She's
Yeah.
on anal rejection and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
Johnny does. So
it's like everything conflicted with one of her drugs that she was on, and so she has to take a special multivitamin. It's just something else.
yeah, if Johnny were to change her multivitamin, her kitty doctor has said, don't change it without me looking at the ingredient. I need to know what percentages of each one of these is so I can tell you what effect it's going to have on your kidneys.
That's the same way it is with her.
She's like, most people that wouldn't bother, you can do whatever, but because your kidneys are damaged, I need to look at it.
Yeah.
It's people, we talk to people about her med regimen and the fact that you can't just start taking stuff because it doesn't matter whether we know which over the counter stuff she can, as far as cold medicines and stuff like that, she can take. But if anything else, we have to call into the doctor or send him a message saying, can she take this, or and he'll either send back, yeah, it's okay, or no, try this instead. So it's just, I love her, and I just take that wheelbarrow once a month when all her meds comes in. We just I load it up in the wheelbarrow and roll it to the bedroom.
Yeah, it seems like every time I leave the house, I get a message. Can you stop by the pharmacy and pick up my prescription? I'm like, at one time they tried to get them all at the same time, and that didn't work. I'm like,
it's like. We have to get all her continuing. If anybody's on anything that is going to continue more than like 90 days, we have to get it through Express Scripts. Yeah, so there is always bags of meds in the mailbox. But let me say this: it's nothing that gets you high or any of that kind of stuff. It's like, so don't worry about stealing it. But our address is 118. The directly behind us is a lady. She's 116, and she gets her meds from Express Scripts too. She has a bunch of heart issues, so we have to look through when we get sacks of meds and literally sacks of meds in the mail. We have to look to make sure it's to us or it's to her because they don't look. They just see it's Express Scripts and they don't really pay attention to who it's supposed to go to. Because one time she came knocking on the door, she said, by any chance, did you get any meds for me? And I'm like, no, not that I know of. And she said, well, I was expecting some and I didn't get it. And so I went back there and got her Roberta's tubs of meds. And sure enough, one of her bags was mixed in with ours because she didn't need to, open anything. It just stayed in the bag. So since then, we've been really good about trying to keep up with making sure we don't mess with anybody's meds on it. But
yeah, Johnny used to have the narcotics, but she doesn't anymore.
Yeah, we don't have any of that kind of stuff. It's all because this med makes your blood thin.
She took herself off the narcotics and she had this big old bottle, like the biggest bottle you ever seen. I'm like, I wish I wasn't scared to go to jail because these things are worth like $10 or $20 a pill.
But it's what you got to do. I mean, life's tough. You just have to do what you got.
She hated what the narcotics were doing to her. She was on them for years, and she told the doctor one month, she's like, you know what? I'm taking myself off these. He's like, you're the first. I run pain clinic, and you're the first person ever to decide that they didn't want the pain medicine anymore.
You know, and it's so weird. Like I started to say a while ago, she's on this med. She has to have it, but it makes her blood thin. So she has to take this med to make her blood not thin. And that does something else. So she has to take something to come, to compete with that. And it's just, yeah, Chuck Trader, that's the way it is. We really need a pharmacist around here. But I mean, it's just what you got to do. It really does irritate me though when we find out this med that's been been out manufactured for 30, 40 years, and they're still charging $150 a pill for it. Now, mind you, we don't pay that with our insurance, but still, by now you should have recouped your development costs.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story right there.
Well, the one thing we struggle with is she takes a lot of the older medicine, so the insurance covers and does well, but these doctors want to push every new one, and what was the one they wanted her to try for migraines? One of these TV medicines. Even our copay was going to be $800 a month. That's the copay.
Yeah.
Good grief!
One of these migraine medicines, whatever it is, on you see them running these ads with people. Yeah, $800 a month was the copay.
Wow.
And that's cheap on some of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is
Hey, Cajun.
Yeah, her chemo medicine, the one they call the Red Devil, she got 4 of that. They were like $22,000 each, 4 times. That was one of the. She had 5 different ones.
And our house back
Victoria.
in '94 when she had her surgery. No, not '94. It was 2010 when she had her surgery. We were on the track to both for her to retire, and then she got sick, and we went through our part of all her surgery and all that was like $90,000. Our part. The whole bill was like almost $1 million. So, we were getting money from everywhere to pay that $90,000 off, and really messed up the plan for the future, but it was worth it. Cold.
Yeah, we were for you can say fortunate. She was disabled in 13. So by the time all this came through, she's on Medicare, even though me and Jacob have regular insurance, and they surprisingly cover so much that it was way cheaper to go through the chemo and cancer because being on Medicare, the cancer clinic she's at covered a lot of the costs through their charities.
Oh.
So we were extremely fortunate that they covered a lot of that, and that's another reason why she likes talking to people, and and especially people because she's been there, and they have volunteers that are there, so she feels real indebted to help to give back to somewhere that was very, very good to us, and at a time when.
Look, there's Victoria. I was watching Victoria's show this morning, and I got a big old swig of coffee, and a fly had gotten in my coffee, and I got that thing in my mouth, and I spit coffee all over my desk here, and right in the middle of her show, I was like, yuck.
Hey, at least you were in the dining room. You didn't make a mess.
Yeah. Hey, Scott. Scott, my next door neighbors are from Alabama. He's got his master's in business from University of Alabama,
Yep.
And she's got her PhD from Auburn.
From Auburn, yeah.
And I said, so, from what I hear, that's like treason if you live in Alabama, marrying across that's like marrying your sister,
So Alabama, Auburn, they're very close to Carolina in the state. Where Auburn would be North Carolina State, and
Right.
Alabama will be Carolina. They're both almost the same setups as, one's the business school, one's got the law school, the other one is the heavy engineering and
Right.
and the veterinary and all that stuff. So it's very similar.
But I said, how do y'all get along during football season? And she said, well, I don't really care about it. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. She said, he's sitting at that table every time or in that TV every time that Alabama plays. And I said, well, from what I gather from friends down in Alabama, I'm surprised they didn't take your degrees back when you married Auburn or Alabama. And she said, well, he's got an uncle that he just barely is speaking to us now.
Yeah, so SEC Shorts does a thing on YouTube where they make these little skits about SEC teams.
Uh-huh.
There's one that's how to be an Auburn fan, and it's a roller coaster, and you go through the roller coaster, and they spin the wheel, and whatever year it is, they take you to that year, and they come back. These guys come back and they go, man, that was one of the championship years. Holy cow, this is one of the greatest years ever. And the guy goes, let's go again. And he goes, are you sure? And they go, yeah, we're going to go. And they spun the wheel, and they got one of them crazy Auburn years. And they come back and they go, we barely survived. And they keep picking good years back. And before Kevin passed, Kevin was very Harlan's brother was an Auburn grad. He's like, this is what it's like every day to be an Auburn fan. And we're like, oh, Kevin, you're crazy. So we went to watch the Auburn's bowl game. They played the Birmingham Bowl this year. And Kevin's like, I'm gonna adopt y'all as Auburn fans for today. And that's the one where they lost at the end. They were leading, they caught up, they lost. And I mean, it was a roller coaster. He's like, this is my life as an Auburn fan right here every year.
Well, I'm surprised that the flags in the government offices in North Carolina are not at half mast.
Because, oh yeah, with Carolina losing,
UNCC lost the ACC.
They didn't just lose; they lost the biggest comeback ever. That's crazy.
I didn't. I don't watch it, so I don't know. But
they were up 15 or 20 at halftime. They lost one of the biggest leads ever.
Jeez. I don't follow it. I follow the personal side of it, the way people lose their minds when that stuff happens around here.
Yeah, growing up there, I had 1983. That was the greatest year ever with Alabama. Other than that, state got kicked around pretty good.
My son I bet he had not graduated a month, and he started getting the alumni donations and stuff like that. I said, son, you can do whatever you want to, but when you get that student loan paid off, then you can contribute more money to that university if you want to. Which I'm hoping, because he's in the medical industry, that he might get to lose some of it to Scott's president's plan. So
I don't have a president. My flags right here are still upside down and distressed.
Well, we really have a thing going on around here because our twins are from Ukraine and our oldest one's from Russia, and they don't really have. I mean, they don't have anything to do with what's going on there. As far as it's not like they can draft them or anything like that. But we saw the people over there, and we saw these kids in orphanages and things like that, and we just feel sorry for the kids because of all this mess going on. But
yeah, you need to pay attention. It ain't what the TV says it is.
Oh, I know.
The Ukrainians are killing their own people. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's like really sad what they're doing to their own people.
That president is crazy as a bat anyway. So
he's a comedian. He's not a politician. He was a comedian 5 years ago.
both of them, both of those presidents of both of those countries need to. They need to get, as Hillary would say, they need to get depressed. But
Oh my gosh.
but like I said, since we've saw how the children at orphanages lived over there. We just really worry about them because they're not getting taken care of. They were barely being taken care of then in times of peace. So there's a special place in hell for people like that.
Yeah, all these, all this stuff is coming out about all these pedos and all this stuff. There's going to be if you can hurt a child and do things to a child, there's a special place in hell for you. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
There ain't no coming back from that. There ain't no. You'll never convince me to ever forgive anybody who can hurt a child. It's just you're a deprived individual if you can lay a hand on, much less other things. I mean, it's just it's disgusting.
Now, mind you, my sons have had their butts beat with a belt before, but that's entirely different than some of the crap that goes on. Todd, I don't know why I'm getting y'all mixed up this morning.
We look alike. It's my bald head and his hairy rear. They look alike.
It's 5 after 10. I've got to get on. Thanks for having me on, Todd. I couldn't find the link, so I thought you had boycotted me, banned me.
Yeah, you've been gone, but that's okay.
I've got so much stuff going on, and it's starting up again. We found out yesterday my mother-in-law's got to have a heart cath, and she's got some other issues going on. My father-in-law, he already is on oxygen pretty much all the time.
You are more like an Uber driver lately for everybody.
I am, but see, they live in Marion, North Carolina, which is up near Asheville, which is 2 hours away from us.
Yeah.
And
it don't matter when they need a ride to the doctor.
They got a
daughter. Let's get Tom. He's not.
They got a daughter that lives up there.
Yeah.
He ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't been doing nothing except riding people around. I told Roberta, I said, listen, if it comes to a point that they have to have care all the time, or they need to be watched all the time, I said, we're getting ready to buy a bigger house, and they're getting ready with an in-law suite, and we're getting ready to move them in, because I just can't. Those 2 hour drives one way is too much. But then again, knock on wood, other than some cataract surgery I have to have in the next month, I'm in pretty good shape.
Yeah, that's one of the next things on Johnny's surgery list is chemo gave her cataracts too.
Yeah. I've stopped by the urgent care to have my blood pressure checked because I feel like my blood pressure must be 2 million over 60. And I go in there and they check it and they say, you're just fine. You're fine. It's fine. You must be a little bit stressed about something. And I'm like, I just feel like it's really high. So knock on wood, everything other than that, I'm in good shape. So I'll just keep on riding them around until the parents and Roberta. As long as I have to, as long as I need to, because that's what you got to do.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Tom.
Wait, before you go, Todd, I need to ask you something. I turned 65 in December. I've started getting Medicare supplement ads by the handful every day. Did that happen to you?
Oh yeah, you could get you one of those machines that turns paper into fireplace logs, and just start building you up. You'll have enough by the time by the time next winter rolls around, you'll have a stack of logs just from Medicare ads.
And it just, they have to wait. What I do is I pick up my mail at the mailbox, and as I walk up to the house, our trash cans and our recycling bins over here by the end of the house, and so I just flip open the recycling bin and look at mail and rip it and throw it in the recycling bin.
Yeah,
it don't even come in the house.
No,
and these people are spending a fortune on postage that just printing that just ends up in the mail in the trash.
Yeah. Be careful,
It's a
though.
good thing.
I've thrown away a few important things just chucking out the Medicare bills. I accidentally get like my water bill mixed in or something.
Nothing makes me more mad than when the post lady sticks the mail up inside of a magazine or a sale paper,
Oh, God.
and then I've gotten now where I check it to make sure, but I've just about thrown stuff away because she had it stuck up in the mail, in sale papers and stuff like that. That's all right. It's not too much longer before Scott will join the club.
Yep.
Yeah, I just turned 53 Saturday, so.
You're only 53?
You look like you're 84.
No, I thought he acts so mature and smart. I thought he was at least up there with me and Todd.
He got to be savvy like us old farts.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Johnny posted. Here you go. I shall post you this picture where you go. Johnny thought she was funny putting that on Facebook in 1996. We're children. We're children.
Look at those little babies.
People never guess her age. They don't get within 10. If you ask her how old she is, they never get within 10 years of her age. She's always looked itty bitty, young. When we got married, we'd already been married. What, 5 years in? 5 years earlier than that. I mean, our wedding pictures, we really look like children.
Well, everybody looks.
I get tagged
when you get as old as me and Todd. You talk about the boys, and those boys are 45 years old.
I started getting tagged on Facebook yesterday. I'm like, what in the hell? I'm like, Johnny was posting one of these crazy pictures. I'm like,
poor old Sally. She's got another 50 years before she could even think about retiring. All right, I gotta go. Y'all take care.
All right, bye, Tom.
Bye. Thanks, Todd.
All right. Tomorrow I'm not doing the show. Sally, you doing the show tomorrow?
Probably not. I have plans.
So, yeah, I'm getting on a Spirit Airlines jet tomorrow.
oh.
Spirit Airlines is like the
you ride on the wing? Are you ride on the wing?
Yeah, in the cargo hold. Oh my God.
Man, it feels like you're taking vacation every 5 minutes these days.
Isn't that the one they charge you per bag? They charge you per carry-on. If you swap the bathroom, you got to put a credit card in the door.
Yeah, the tickets are cheap, but then if your bag weighs over 40 pounds, yeah. So, yeah, packing up I got to find my COVID masks, and yeah, time to load up and go to. We're going to go to Harry Potter World while we're there. That's not cheap. All right, everybody, thanks for coming on. We'll see you.
And you got the fast
I'll see you when I get back. That'll be Monday or Tuesday next week. I'll get back.
All right, I'll be on Friday.
Sally will be on Friday, everybody. So thank you for everyone being here. Man, we had some big names in. We had Victoria, we had Cajun, we had Lag. Dang, all the big names. Scott.
Yeah, I'll be yard selling Friday morning. One of our 40 house neighborhoods is having their community sale.
Oh yeah, we just had ours Saturday.
There's an empty spot on that shelf right there. I got to go buy some more stuff.
All right. We'll catch y'all next week.
All right,
bye.
Bye.
So.
Bye.